Hey guys, this is Luis, aka Impulse from the Dynasty Gaming CSGO team. I just want to make a quick video today. Really, what it's about, it's in regards to the cat jump from Mirage. So it's from jumping from window to cat, as many as you know. It's pretty hard. I've been struggling, to make that jump, as many of my peers have for quite a while. Especially around my rank, there's not going to be many people that are usually pulling it off in game. There are a few, but not very many. Now, everyone of course wants to do that jump at some point. I I practiced it. I've made it in the past, and it was just kind of more like hit or miss. Sometimes I'd get on a streak and hit it quite a few times, and then I wouldn't. But I wasn't really sure as far as what am I pressing, what am I doing right or wrong. Sometimes I just really want to show you how I'm practicing it now. I kind of found something that's consistent. Hopefully, someone can use it. Someone can learn from it. We'll have to see. So there is this map on the workshop called Jumps Training by Whiskey-O. It's a really good map. You can use it to learn some different jumps from different maps. It even includes the Mirage cat jump, but I was practicing it on there. Then I tried it in an actual game. These are like grayscaled maps, or they're missing quite a few details. It just looks a lot different than the actual Mirage map. So when I was practicing it and then trying it in game, I think my brain wasn't processing like, well, there should be this there, the table there. It's just a little bit different. So maybe I'm just not, even though I'm building up the muscle memory, my brain is not like, it's not connecting the dots, I guess. I don't know. So really what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to actually load up the map Mirage on common competitive offline with bots. Now, I am going to, when you're not using that other map, if you fall down, you either got to walk around the whole map or around, go up connector and go back into jungle and then window and then try again. Or you can use a no clip. If you don't already know, you can bind no clip. You can use this on offline matches. I think you have to have SV cheats 1. I'm not really sure, but you got to have the no clip up or binded, unless you want to. I mean, you have to have it binded if you want to use it. So this is the bind for it. If you're curious, you could just replace the letter V with whatever key. You might have to put quotations around it, just depending on what key it is. But that's what I have it binded as. Just wanted to give you a heads up. So let's go ahead and load up Mirage then. And I'm just going to launch a config that I have for practice. I think it does have SV cheats on, so just turn that on and kick all the bots. That should be really all you need. It's 128 tick. You can try this on 64 tick. I was trying that earlier. I'm not sure if it's easier or harder, but it was working. So let's go ahead and try it. All right, so it's going to load up my little config. Let's go, my brothers. I'm going to buy an op, because I mean, most of the time people that are playing on when they're doing the cat jump, it's usually the CT player that plays window or B cat. Either that or it's someone who's rotating across the map. Oh, here, let me buy armor. Sorry, I have everything binded on my little keyboard. Alright, so, I mean, most of the time people are going to be here in CT, right? So they're gonna come up here. And then, I mean, making it from CT, I found is a lot harder. Let's see if I can hit it. Alright, there we go. Alright, and then they can come up here. And JR Hemi is saying a lot of people use this to peek over the smoke. I'm not an opper. I usually don't play mid with an op, so I don't really know when I would use this jump. Probably a lot of times, actually, when I'm rotating over to B. But you could also do it from here. You can make a little jump. Let's see if I can make it. Nope. You just jump here and then strafe up here and then jump up there. So, I mean, but that's kind of hard too. But this one is a lot harder, I think. And it's a lot flashier too. So there's a couple things I'm going to talk about, and actually, it's really just 2 parts to the jump. So first is I'll break it down to 3 parts actually. The approach, the first jump, and then the third jump. Wow, what am I doing? The approach, the first jump, and then the second jump. By the way, I'm not editing this. I'm just hoping to shoot it in one go because I don't really have editing software that I can use proficiently. So you're first approaching. I like to use this column of tiles for reference. So, and I'm not really worried about the table. You can be hitting against it or not, but I mean, really, I'm worried about this. You don't really have time to worry about the table most of the time. So I'm worried about this. I'm walking along this line, and really my crosshair is just on this crack. It's on the middle event. It's just on the crack, about headshot level. And I'm running forward, trying to get speed. I'm trying to get up to maximum speed. And I'm getting halfway here, right? So halfway through this column, that's where I want to do that first jump. And then what I'm going to do, so I'm just holding W as I'm coming up. I press jump. I let go of W right away. I start holding D. As I'm holding D here, and I'm not in the air, so this is gonna look weird, but as I'm holding D, I'm starting to like strafe. You know, if you don't know what strafing is that it helps you speed up while you're in the air. It allows you to go above the maximum speed, which is 250 units, I believe, per second. I don't really know, but it's 250. So if you're strafing, you're just holding the direction that you're going to move your mouse. So in this case, you're holding D and you're moving your mouse. But because you're jumping, your crosshair is going to do a movement that looks like this. It's going to look like a little M, or like half the arch, you know, just like a little arch. Now, when we're doing this first jump, of course, we're doing it right here, where we already let go of W. We're going to be in the air, and we're going to be strafing. So just holding W, or excuse me, just holding D. And you just do a smooth, you know, you don't want to do the arch on purpose, but you're just going to be moving to the right. You know, so just go like that. Boom. And you really want it to land around right here. And of course, I don't know if I'm doing it the right way, but this is just what I found is consistent for me, or at least this is how I'm practicing it. So focus on getting from the first jump, you're going to land about right here, and your crosshair should be right around here, right? So, I mean, when I land on the left, what I notice is when I try the second jump from here to there, I usually end up clipping like this, or I end up clipping something. You know, I think it's maybe I'm moving at too much of an angle, so I don't clear this little like ledge up here all the way. I don't know, but make sure it like kind of lands in this area. You know, just try to get it there. So, I mean, you can practice that first, you know, no pressure, just boom, just like that, you know. Just practicing getting there. Try not to clip this on your way down. Just because it'll mess up the jump and you won't make it. And the whole point is just practice because you want to get consistent at this. You know, you're not gonna make it every time, but just so that you know how to do it. You know, I've seen myself kind of try to make a bigger strafe. I don't think you have to do that. You just stay here, boom, land here. So once you're here, and this is the easy part. Once you're here, you know, you don't have to pay too much attention as far as where you land. I mean, you might notice that you start landing a little bit. I don't know. Just make sure you land here and you're looking right here. That's where you want to start. The next part of it is, so you were holding D when you're landing. You're still holding D. You're gonna do a second jump, but on the second jump, you want to make sure that you're. And this is the way I do it again. I don't know if it's correct, but it's the way it's working for me. As soon as you land, you're gonna jump again, but as soon as you land, also make sure you're holding down W. You're still holding down D. You're gonna want to hold your crouch button and jump. So let's practice that just on the flat ground real quick. So W, D, right, at the same time. So you're moving like that. Crouch, right? So you're moving like that, and just jump. So if you're doing that like at a standstill, you don't move very far. But the more speed you have, you know, the farther it feels like you get. And it is, you know, you do move farther. Ideally, I think you would let go of W once you actually are cleared this, you know, that way you can actually strafe. Because if you're holding A, or W, excuse me, if you're holding W, it's going to mess you up. But I think for the purposes of this jump, I think you'll be fine holding W at first. So just practice it that way. So again, let's put it together, right? So you're up here, boom. So it's really hard, and I think that's why a lot of people don't really practice this, is because it's like, what buttons or keys am I supposed to be pressing? You know, it's just hard, but just practice that. Again, just first the approach, come here. Once you're about halfway through, make that jump. Make sure you land about right here. Once you land, it's important to, while you're approaching this, at first you're going to want to keep that in mind. You know, I'm holding W, let go of W, but hold D once I make the jump. Right? So again, on the approach, you're not holding D, you're just going straight, boom, jump to the right without holding W. But once you land, again, hold W now, still hold D, and then crouch and jump at the same time. Because you don't want to really, this jump, it seems like weird, but you're crouching while you jump. I think that's the only way I've managed to make it. Let's see if we can get up there one more time. You're going to come close sometimes, but at least you know that you're not clipping it. You're just not doing it right. You know, sometimes you just clip the top and, you know, like that, it can mess you up. But just keep practicing just so you can make it. Sometimes you'll make it like over here. I don't know. I mean, just keep practicing, and just as long as you make it, I think that's successful, or successful enough start. And you're gonna have a lot of times where you're close. One thing I noticed, if you're playing on A site as a CT or even a T, you could do this as a T, but most of the time you're gonna be CT doing this. If you're holding A site and then they take B, you're trying to rotate. Instead of going down connector and going around, you can just come here, and it might be quicker for you. It might be worth it. First you have to practice and actually get up there. Which I don't do it every time, but I think this is the only way that I've been able to do it consistently. So it's just gonna take practice. Now, so just keep doing that, and it's gonna be easier when you're coming from A site. When you're coming from CT, it's a little bit harder, just because you don't have as much space or room to gain speed. Not unless you can bunny hop it. So I found that I lack a good way to gain speed because I'm not used to. I don't know how to strafe through this or bunny hop through this. So it's hard for me to gain a lot of speed. And most of the time in these scenarios, you want to do this you want to do this very fast. The whole point of going to cat is just so that other people can go market, and they don't just expect everybody from market. If you can go cat quickly, you might be able to open up with some kills. But you guys know all this. It's just a matter of actually doing it. So I mean, that's really all I wanted to cover. Just again, the 3 steps: the approach, the first jump, and then the second jump. The second jump is the one you're gonna have to practice the most. But I mean, if you don't hit that first jump correctly, you're not gonna hit that second jump. It's really just about the approach, the speed, all of that. So. And I myself have to keep practicing, but I just wanted to show my friends and anybody that cares, I just wanted to show them how I was practicing, and hopefully all my friends and my pugs and my matchmaking and on my team can hopefully hit this soon, including myself. All right, you guys have a good day.